well. Mark target applied to the Panther, which is putting a lot of pressure there. Really surprised we're not seeing these guys. Okay, I was going to say. I was like, why is T-75 not dying? Then they Panzerfaust it. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 bringing you another COH2 replay. This is a 4v4, not 3v3, 4v4 submitted by a Patreon supporter. So thank you very much to the supporter who submitted this in. Also want to give a shout out we give here to all these players. We got Ghastly, Yora Yo, Mr. Saipan, Gerard L. Magias, Infinite, Johnny, Rifle, and Rama Saitome. American to Soviet, and Brit versing to Austrian to OKW on Red Ball. If you want to submit your replay, you can do so via my email or on my Discord. Discord, usually, you can automatically join. The replay submission folder is for subs, patrons, etc. Just because I want a special group of people to send attachments and, you know, had some other issues when people try to send attachments. But anyway, that's what therefore go through either of those two sources and I'll check out your replay. We'll see how this game goes. Playtime, let's do a quick check before things get too heated. We can see here the axes are pretty well like stacked, but they do have one issue. But that being said, we'll see if Yora Yo is someone who is bringing down the team or is someone still doing a fairly good job. Because we've absolutely seen play times where that amount of skill or like playtime is not required to do very well. MG already suppressing a huge chunk of allied forces, forcing some of them back. Well, we have a nice flank here by Ghastly, or Gasty. I almost said Ghastly, I'm thinking of Pokemon. Coming on along left-hand side, gaining the cover. American forces trying to figure out where to go. They could move the heavy cover, but the MG and Mortar are probably do a lot of damage to them. Again, also Yora Yo went with support focus, while his OKW counterpart is going with more infantry frontline focus. Great use of it because one takes the damage and dishes it when the other one is providing that needed support, suppression, mortar fire, you name it. So overall, not too shabby. Overall, not too shabby so far. Right now, we got Volk Squad still pushing left. We got British already really low, so probably hit with a mortar or something, if I had to assume. Oh yeah, there's a German mortar back here with a lot of veterancy but no kills. That Penal's pushing in. Nice incendiary will force him out of his cover, although put him into more trees. These guys are very weak, but they're heading on back. I'm assuming they're waiting for some type of heal point to go up. That medical could be provided. Johnny, by the way, mechanized support, long range focus, armor and infantry. We got some bombers and commando possibly with Infinite. The other guys not so much, and same thing with the Germans. So pretty even split, I would say, right now. While the Allies are barely holding on to this region, and even though they're decapping, I think the Germans should be able to hold. Once again, we have another player, Magias, going with that support focus, and the mortar, once again, really delivering what it needs to. Pushing back the infantry in a couple quick hits, allowing even a weaker set of German OKW forces to advance and hopefully take those key positions. Again, we do have a flank coming in. American forces actually pushing in on left. It looks like they're busting on through. Nice use of smoke. Good to see grenades used. Again, grenades are not only just for American riflemen, but smoke grenades for Echelon. That's going to force Yora Yo back, and looks like he brought up an extra mortar. But it looks like his ally is just not having a lot of frontline support. Most of them are healing right now at base, and he does have one squad that can move on in, or possibly, you know, Stern Pioneers could drop down some medical kits. Again, Stern Pioneers medical, very, very nice to see. Volk Squad's once again being pushed back. We have a medical about to go down, so most likely Saipan is going to refocus his efforts and hold with that infantry and then advance. That's what I assume is going to happen. That's my assumption. And if that happens, most likely because this, we have Johnny here going with a heavy focus on Soviet infantry with heavier front line and a sniper. He doesn't have that support. Now the British are also going front line, so they have to keep battling this infantry, and eventually, even though if they're slightly better, that's going to slowly wear and tear, especially by supported German mortar fire and MGs. Already, we have smoke going off for artillery fire, but most likely, because Infinite's so early in development, he doesn't have a second artillery piece, so as long as he stays out of that area, he really only has to worry about one. Volk Squad very low, again, probably needs to retreat. Not retreating until too late. Nice artillery actually kills one Stern Pioneer squad. He's trying to kill it. Does get the kill. I do want to point out, I think Johnny did lose an infantry unit. Hold on. He did get himself a guards troops, again, most likely to upgrade them with DPs, and that's exactly what he's going to do. But the Germans will take over this region, although artillery fire will cause a little bit of casualties. Real quick, just want to make sure, Johnny, you did lose something, right? Yes, you lost one penal. Okay, I thought you did. Anyway, Saipan is not letting him go with that fight, already taking this territory. But the British are coming in with 5-man squads. Again, now you need the second, you need to up Tech 1 base in order to get the bonus, which I think is a smart move. Again, it delays the heavier infantry that the Brits can deploy, but not a bad choice. Unfortunately, that British infantry, none of them have the smoke option. So right now that MG is going to hit that blob, and well, the question is how much can it suppress? Penn's Grenadiers coming on the left-hand side. I would have him focus on the other two, though I think too late. They already made it to cover. Nice job, forced him back. Now, if the MG, it is causing suppression, forcing them back, and Penn's Grenadiers are coming on, and they should win against that one single squad. Come on, baby. You can do it. Volk squad coming along the side, and yes, drives them back. Meanwhile, German forces unable to really recapture the left-hand side. They've been driven back. We have this gentleman here. Doesn't look like he's lost all that much. Oh, never mind. Immediately, I jinxed it. I immediately jinxed it. He loses mortar, but he still has a lot of support, and he's bringing up a sniper. That's really risky, but if it pays off, that could be extremely good for the amount of damage you could do against American infantry. Soviets a little less so with the sniper because of the 6-man squads, but still, sniping American infantry can be very, very vital, while the other infantry deals with the conscripts, unless they get upped or boosted, let's say with airborne troops or something like that. Volk squads pushing on in. Meanwhile, we have a Soviet engineer squad taking mid. Once again, Johnny trying to do what he can with only 4 infantry compared to like Yo with like 8. Was it 8? No, I'm sorry. He lost the mortar, so he had to fall back, so he's down to 5. There was someone else I thought had more. Maybe it was Red. No, he only has 6. Okay. Nice job. We have smoke being dropped, I'm assuming, to advance? Maybe. I love how this MG's like, yeah, I'm just going to fall back to medical base to heal. Meanwhile, hold on. Saipan is focusing all of his efforts with a little support by Gasty in mid. Not a bad idea. There's really no contention. Both allied forces are along the right and left, but there's nothing in mid. So unlike a certain Civil War battle where a man charged all of his infantry into a slaughtering ground, this charge straight up the gut has no one defending that brick wall, so they just take position and hell could even cut off and divide the allied armies in 2 if it's successful. The ambulance is the key here. If they neutralize that, they can't heal. But again, I don't think they'll have enough firepower to get through. I think Saipan is going to walk into this and then retreat into the MG, unfortunately. He might get a special... Oh, wait, grenades being thrown. He gets 4 grenades, but they kind of... they do a little damage. Unfortunately, he's going to retreat. Luckily, the one squad did make it. Unfortunately, this one's got a little bit of an issue. Additional Volk squad here. I'd probably move back to heavy cover, just wear and tear at this point. Sniper retreating. I think it was a mortar hit or something. Although it probably wouldn't be helpful if he kept on the front. Volk squad's coming on in. We do have a small Soviet push on right. We have some guards, penals, and a sniper moving on in. But a German half-track is going in to counter. The guard troops will lock its sights on the half-track, and it does have a lot of infantry to deal with. Looks like they also deployed a glider. Well, with smoke, he's going to get the hell out. MG, unfortunately, is just being overwhelmed. And this is a big issue because right now we have 1 penal squad that could satchel, and then with the double guards putting pressure on the penal, they could kill it. Unfortunately, it looks like Magyas needed to retreat. Oh, bunkers here! That stops the penals, so actually, no, looks like medical should be fine. Now, he's trying to kill the pack. Pack's trying to escape. Penn's Grenadiers are probably back. Yep, they're back en route. Meanwhile, Mr. Saipan with special operations, so consistent recon and great support. Magyas went Jaeger armor, which is a doctrine I've never seen before. Kidding. So it's like almost always picked. But elephant and direct strikes and recon. Ghastly, I saw this earlier, should have mentioned it. Overwatch, because I'm so curious to see if we get any good Overwatch detonations. That would be amazing. Meanwhile, it looks like we have a lot of Soviet forces still built up here. They did knock out the ambulance. I wonder if that was the mortars that did that. I'm very, very curious. Was support gun maybe? I'm honestly curious what possibly killed the ambulance here. But maybe a Panzerfaust got in. That's absolutely possible. Which would have probably given it to Saipan, I would assume. No, or Ghastly. Ghastly had a Volk squad. Again, we'll figure... Their AT gun is back at base. It does have a vehicle. Oh, he moved up to an AT gun. Very cool. And it may be saying, Greyshot, why is so shocking? Well, there was so much infantry here. I didn't think he could do that, but I guess he did. Support gun fire is definitely going to be a big issue for the Allies. And again, it's so weird. The Allies have lost the center on the left and looks like are barely holding right. So both points going back and forth. But the deciding one, I think, right now is munitions. I truly do think that because we can see here that if the Soviets Not Soviets. Well, if the Americans can retake that, great. But the amount of mines being set here by Gasti, and as well, if the additional munitions they're currently getting, they're getting 22 munitions per turn. That's huge. So that can be extra upgrades and other things that can go. Meanwhile, the Allies are significantly down. Although they have used those resources pretty well. We can see here a ton of American forces with bars. Rifle is yet to pick anything. Infinite, some upgrades. And again, all we have to look at is Johnny, and he has his DPs operational. Half-track moving on in. Volkswagen's just pouring on in. Love the flank because that MG is like, I'm set up, and then all the troops coming from behind like, oh no. Bottle Grenade gets a great hit on the MG. They slaughter some troops there, and I don't know if he's going to be able to retreat in time. They're trying to put shots on him, but I think he's going to escape. Yep, he's going to make it out A-okay. So good job on the escape route. Could have been very bad. Could have been very bad for him. But he made it out in one piece. Volk squads continue to put pressure on the Royal Engineers. They will grab the territory, though, and it'll be complete Axis dominance right now in mid with almost every single territory. I think every territory will go to the Axis in the first 11 minutes. Meanwhile, Mr. Saipan is not upgraded, though he has a new base being deployed. We have only Phase 1 for Magias. Gasti is upgrading to his additional building in a pretty good spot, I would say. It's guarding this and is a good prevention if Allied forces try to push in through a flank, which is likely. A lot of times people like to come in that flank to cut it off. Not likely with middle under their control, but, you know, still. Anyway, Johnny has upgraded the tier. Infinite. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Oh, Battle Phase 2 for Yo. Infinite is up to company, but still nothing close. Mortar gets taken out by artillery fire from the Zis. Great shot there from Rifle. Rifle is, once again, tier 3. That build. Wait, no, sorry, Captain. So, okay. Any major? Yes, major, but nothing yet. All right. So the Allies are at least getting to the point where they could start getting armor feasibly soon. On the flip side, the Germans, it doesn't look like we have any sort of armor out in the time future. We have a nice half track here that's actually helping with support. Again, really good play. Instead of that way you can easily heal your troops and Allied troops on the front and keep the fight going. I know there's a medical back here, and I'm not actually too negative against this, although I'm always in the mindset maybe not. Well, it's close to the Panzer headquarters, I guess. You're trying to make sure it's defended. And it's not too close to artillery fire can hit, so never mind. Artillery fire is coming on in, driving some Volk squads back. Volk squads are trying to decap that point. They did decap the one on the left, although Allied forces are trying to push on in with a half track supporting them, even with a captain here just overwhelming them. Grenade being thrown. Oh, great grenade by Rama. Absolutely. Oh, sorry, Ranma. Easily destroying him and pushing him back. So good job, Ranma. And sorry for butchering your name. That happens to me often. Probably too often for my liking. The dead horse took the shot, so the American infantry can continue to push forward, and the MG now will suppress him. It's MG 34, but it's close enough. He should be fine. He's trying to get up, I think, maybe to throw a grenade, although it looks like that scared the MG, so that works. We have a small Allied contingent over here. I don't know if they're planning on pushing. That seems unlikely with the amount of German forces here. So we'll have to see. Volk squads were driven back from their attack. Looks like they were trying to help on the left-hand side, but Saipan may have overextended himself a little bit, and unfortunately the Allies held. And what I mean by overextend is all of his forces are now retreating back to his base over here. If that is the case, that might have left middle open, and I think that Johnny's going to take that and be like, oh, Mr. Saipan's force is there? Okay, we don't have to worry about mid. Take it now. Again, not a bad idea if you can. If you can't, then, well, that's a big concern. Let's see. Right now, oh, it looks like Magias has lost a number of his men, so it might be a little harder for him to hold, but he is placing mines. We have, sorry, Mr. Saipan is placing mines over here, really trying to get defensive play. We have a flare here, most likely from a sniper. If I have to assume, he deployed that to try to give idea of what's over there for the British to launch an assault. Good job with 16 kills, by the way. Have to give credit where credit is due. 11 kills for the Volk squads, and DP is roughly 7, I think is their best. Su-85 is being deployed by Johnny. Very interesting, because that's a very good tank destroyer that will definitely put a force amount of pressure on that half track. And I don't think any of the other allies. Oh, we have a howitzer being deployed. So Ranma is really going with that extra like tier 1 infantry stuff, not tier 1, but like earlier build, heavier infantry rather than more light armor, heavier armor. totally fine. My only concern would be Stuka, but we know from the medical and Panzer headquarters, again, the Allies might not know this, but we know this, that the Germans do not have any capabilities at this moment for Stuka. However, we know that Gasti has getting close to enough for artillery, and judging by the amount of resources he's kind of saving up, that could easily be something he really focuses on, because if he puts our artillery piece, let's say right here, the medical will heal it, and the Panzer headquarters will protect it. Not necessarily against an IL-2 bomb strike if the Allies get recon, but it will protect it from infantry trying to go in, or any sort of closer range assault, or even armor trying to push up. So could be very, very good positioning there. Also, we could also put it here. There's a Panzer headquarters by Mr. Saipan, so you can put it here to stop any forces from being deployed from the building, or kind of pushing on in, or maybe a commando insertion. Just stuff to think about when you're building something that will bring a lot of eyes at your direction. Also, half track is also good, because if the Axis, if the Allies do use some type of recon ability, which again, the British now have, and the American Major has, you want to shoot that plane down immediately, or just shoot any sort of longer-lasting recon plane in general. That way they can't get sight. Volk squad's pushing out the penals, trying to go on in, but unfortunately me gets Maker, I think from the bunker, suppressing it. Oswin now on the field, very interesting, but we know the Su-85 is in sight, and we'll probably push that back. I don't see any AT in range, or really, that's helping out, so the Su-85 is doing pretty well. British forces pushing on in, again, could drop smoke if need be to suppress a lot of this stuff, and I think that would be the smart move. I'm unsure why Infinite is not doing that, but at the very least, the British are giving everything they got. Panzer Grenadiers trying to engage. I think they're not going to win that fight, just because the amount of British infantry. Mr. Saipan said nice. I'm assuming he lost some units. He did. He lost one Volk squad. Johnny killed him. I'm assuming from a penal? Maybe? Maybe. Something happened. Guards troops? Unsure. Unless the Su-85 is hitting something? I don't know. I don't see it. So somehow Saipan lost something. Now he is using recon, and he's doing it over the Allied forces, making me think that something bad is about to happen in their general vicinity. Or giving sight for the PaK-40. Great teamwork if that was the point. Unfortunately, the sniper will keep him back, as not exactly a lot of men, and the sniper can easily wear it down. We have a Cromwell now on the field by Infinite coming on in. Meanwhile, German forces are battling on the left-hand side to hold that fuel, which is really, really crucial, because now neither Allies or Axis have fuel right now in terms of a large supply, and Allies have at least one cash down. One note is, again, Germans don't only have 2 Austere, so that a lot more focus will be placed on them to really support them in resources. But your Yo does have a good amount. It wouldn't hurt him if he built a cache or 2 to really help out his team. Anyway, we do have a good amount of Allied support right here to kind of covering this area. Again, we also have an American one, but I think he needs to get a little closer to this ambulance, get his health back. Meanwhile, it looks like American forces are going into mid, though. He's dangerously close to that mine, so I think he's going to lose 2 models in the next second if he doesn't, if he moves really any more up. Panzer Grenadier still there. Again, 10 kills with the best one. A lot of guards troops, and they're probably all equipped with DPs. Yeah, they're all equipped with DPs. Nice bundle grenade, but unfortunately, you did miss. Nice idea. Luckily, the Volk squads are tearing him apart with the Sturms right there, and double support guns are as well, putting a lot of pressure on the Allied infantry. So it's a lot of damage currently hitting this general area. Plus, we can see here in the back, are they trying to kill this forward base? That might be the case. Hold on. I'm trying to see where these guys are firing at. These guys, this one is, I think, firing in this general direction. Maybe trying to take out the AT gun, while the Ost one's kind of focusing there. That could 100% be the reason. Anyway, we have still shots on the penals, keeping them at bay. How many kills do these things have? 6 kills, 1 kill. Okay, so not too many, but still enough. Su-85 moving on in, most likely push back the half track. Great shot on target, drives him back. Ostwind's already low as is, so it can't really assist. Allies having a great counterattack all throughout and get both munitions as well. American infantry. Oh, wait, was there minesweepers? I think the Echelons may have. Yeah, they have minesweepers, so it detected the mine. Very good use of that. Again, you always want to have minesweepers, and we can see here the Germans have exactly that. We also do have the artillery. It's a little farther back than I think necessary, and I think here would be a little better. But whatever the case may be, it is artillery, and that could be super, super damaging against a lot of these Allied forces grouped up. And as well, if it gets Veterancy 1, you can see a lot of return fire from its, well, counter mortar or counter artillery barrage. Anyway, Panther's now on the field. A Command Panther by Mr. Japan helping boost some other stuff in the close proximity. Volk Squad pushing on in, not taking the point, but they're trying to do damage on that SU-85. Meanwhile, they knock out the forward base, which is going to cut the guard's ability to reinforce itself. Though, the guards are still there, pretty active, and can definitely put a lot of shots with the SU-85 providing supportive fire on that Panther and really do some critical hits. For support gun, bringing him down once again. Volk Squad's trying to hold their own against a lot of British infantry and hold this position. Panthers on standby. We have a nice light gamut bomb by the Commandos, knocks out the Panzer Grenadiers. Also, nice job. I love the Brens on these guys. Oh god, I didn't realize the Ostwind was coming back in when I zoomed in. But yeah, it's even with low health, it's still trying to peak, and I think that's very dangerous. But that's exactly what they're trying to do. So we'll see. Anyway, we have a smoke drop. That's absolutely by the Brits, unless we have an American heavy cav, which we don't. Ranma has gone infantry company for artillery. Not a bad choice, especially for 2 direct strikes that they can do against the enemy artillery barrages, which I feel like is currently hitting this region and forcing him back. Just kind of give you a comparison of the artillery. It's gone 7 kills already. We have a second one being deployed. Okay, one note. Very happy that he's positioned him close to the medical, but far enough away that a single strike won't take him out. So let's say they call in commando bombers, which we know is a possibility. And also something to worry about would be assault, as they do a recon pass throughout the entire territory. Is essentially, if the bombers come in, maybe they hurt the medical and this, but they're not going to kill this. So it looks like they're spread enough apart. Hopefully. I want to say they are. Sniper over here, 13 kills. And I've been praising the other sniper. Actually, I think he's trying to go after Rifle sniper. Or Rifle is trying to counter-snipe this sniper. Either one is possible. The Volk squads are close enough. I think this sniper was detected. And they at least, if the Germans are paying attention, they should know about it. Hopefully. Looks like we have a Katusha coming on in, driving a lot, killing a lot of the support equipment. Mortar and support gun itself are dead. Panzer IV lying in the wings could come in. Oh wait, no, Jackson and American infantry there. It actually looks like Ron Ma is actually focusing a lot more in mid, which is good. Because if they keep the munitions, that would extremely help them out a lot, especially for keeping that general supply for direct strikes, especially if artillery becomes more of a factor. Still a close quarters brawl going in between Johnny and Mr. Saipan in the 4 sector. Ostwind fully healed and operational. I don't see it mechanized, so I'm assuming they had to use some Pioneers and Stern Pioneers to get that up so quickly. Support guns up to 18 kills in total. Panther possibly diving, which may not be the best idea with 4 guards troops. These things will shred armor. Now it looks like Johnny is separating them into 2 distinct groups. One on right, one on left, most likely to A, stop them from blobbing, and B, make sure they can focus on 2 different targets without being entirely suppressed if an MG comes into play. So far that doesn't seem to be the case. It actually looks like we lost the MG by Magias, but he's still trying to do what he can with it, like with his Panzer Grenadiers on the front. Meanwhile, the sniper over here still he is holding fire, so Yo is not dumb in that instance. He knows the sniper's there. He's trying to draw this one out so he can counter it. But again, same thing what Rifle's doing. Unfortunately, this sniper just got almost hit with an artillery shell, revealing it. Oh, a nice shot. Kills the Ziska. Now this sniper's going to advance. He is trying to pull back in time. This sniper... wait. Retreat. The sniper may take a shot, but unlikely to hit. Panzerwerfer on the front. Very interesting. A lot of artillery on the left-hand side, but not a lot of armor. So we could see a push in this general area to try to kill some stuff if they become too comfortable with moving a lot of their support equipment up to the front. We do have the Panzer IV here, but again, it's more tied up with a Jackson. So really, you're just seeing a lot of LFH's artillery and stuff. Which again, if an SU-85 decide to push up a little further, that could be very bad. American doing recon through the major, just trying to reveal some targets. Again, does a flyby. So they also, again, one note, it's like, oh, they have a flyby. It's hard to shoot down the plane. Heads up, you have to be on point with that direct strike, because again, if it's not consistent, you have a very small window to hit something. Anyway, Commando's barely making it out alive. Ostwind doing what it can, but there's a Cromwell over here. Luckily, Pack 40 did get some great shots and push it back. Guard troops trying to push on in against the Panther. AT is being, oh my god, smashed by these guard troops and driven back. Run, man. Aw, man, he got shredded. Again, guards are nothing to sneeze at. Volk squad's pouring on in. We have Obel Sedan as well, upgraded, so that's a great support unit. Have the Volk squads kind of get close, and Obel Sedan just shreds them afar. Sniper, 35 kills. Doing exceptional work over here. more so. 23 kills for the Penals, also nothing to sneeze at. I think there was a Panzerwerfer over here. Yes, it fired but got no kills. It did drive them back, so I guess that could be considered a small win. Do we have Royal Engineers? Well, sort of. They're barely alive, so don't expect that Cromwell to be operational soon. Is that Priest? Oh, we have a Priest firing. I'm assuming it's at the artillery? Judging by the hits, I'm going to say yes, but actually hit the building. That was a better hit. But once again, once it stops firing, I think this thing will be able to heal. Yeah, medic squads are going right now. So we can see here again, why always prefer having... Oh my god! I swear I'm not trying to jinx you, man. I'm really not. I think that's the second time I've said something about his units as a plus and that he got instantly murdered. Oh my god, that medic squad's stuck. It's like, get me out of here. Greyshot's trying to kill me. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh, there we go. The artillery put him out of his misery. Anyway, on that dark and depressing note, Panzer IV coming on in with 10 kills, trying to put some pressure on the Americans. Volk Squad as well, going to shred that MG because it's not placed and just charging right in. Good, well, a nice idea, try to hide behind there so Jackson's a harder time trying to get a shot. Unfortunately, Jackson's a little more on the right. Luckily, we do have an AT gun here, so they should be able to shoot it. Does manage to get a hit. By the way, German forces are still holding the right-hand side. We do have some bunkers and other things going down. My one gripe is we still have yet to see a lot of caches. Most likely, Yorio's using his manpower to save up for that elephant, which could be horribly detrimental to the Allies if that elephant is able to keep putting pressure. Meanwhile, Ghastly, I'm not sure what he's saving up for. Maybe he does have a mechanized, so we know it's not a Tiger. I'm assuming a Panther would probably be more in line, but again, he could have gotten that a little sooner. ISU 152 is on the field, so yeah, Elephant would be greatly appreciated, at least for Magias's forces that are currently being pulverized by the explosive round. Luckily, nice shot, stuns it, gives it a little bit of time to get out before a second shot is fired at it. So good use there. Also, MG is suppressing them. Again, you don't need to necessarily use ability to kill something as long as it's a benefit for you or your ally. Oh, wait, Panzerwerfer coming on in. Gets a number of decent shots, and not a kill shot, though. Sport Gun doing a little work as well. Mark target applied to the Panther, which is putting a lot of pressure there. Really surprised we're not seeing these guys. Okay, I was going to say. I was like, why is C-25 not dying? Then they Panzerfaust it. Vet 5, Mr. Saipan, you may want to retreat this. Oh, no, he's putting pressure on that sniper. Oh, he's trying to get closer to Panzerfaust. Oh, AT coming in on in. Mr. Saipan putting a ton of pressure. Everyone thinks, oh my god, IC-152 is so great. Although, to be fair, unfortunately, poor Volks. Oh, man. But no, it looks like the IC-152 is about to die and meet a horrible, horrible fate if we can get one more decent plane strike at it. A lot of strafes coming out against this infantry. We just need one more. Now, unfortunately for this, it is killing a lot of men in terms of, not killing all of men, it's shooting the planes, which is revealing it. So if the planes come in for a strike, it wouldn't surprise me. And yeah, we're looking at an allied, a little bit of an allied route, though. It looks like Jackson may have tried to come in with some American forces by Ranmo. Unsure if that did much. I don't see any damaged armor. Oh wait, Half-Track's dead. Okay, that's a win. I'm not sure what killed it. Maybe it was to Jackson. No, something killed it. What the point of the matter is, it got killed, and the Axis have driven off the Allies for the most part. Now, unfortunately, the Allies still lost a bit, but they could have lost a lot more. That Firefly and IC-152 didn't, at the very least, live to fight another day. Now, they had to keep this thing, under wraps. Anyway, fortunately, that artillery is dead. That artillery died. The one in the back is still alive, or just made. So at least, he has some artillery left. I'll give a little bit of a shout out to the Priest. That's been really damn good at really counteracting a lot of their defensive positions that they have made. Meanwhile, yeah, possibly this Jackson might die. Panzerfaust inbound. Very low. Panzer IV could go in for the kill. That is entirely reasonable at this point. Shoot one last shot. Oh my god, Mr. Saipan going on in. Going for the kill. He's diving. He gets the shot. Priest is probably his next target. I love the fact Rifle's trying to wedge his half-track into it. He gets another shot on the Priest. Katusha's in range. This, Mr. Saipan, could absolutely devastate the Allies. Knocks out the Priest. He's going to pull back. There is anti-air, but he's focusing on the armor. If they called him planes, it wouldn't. Half-track. I'm sorry, not half-track. Panzer IV is there. Infantry did pin the armor with their AT grenade. We have all. Oh my god. You have all the guards coming on in. He's absolutely like run, 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 run. I don't believe they have smoke. Goliath could be great for popping out and just killing the blob if they got too close, but Mr. Saipan actually deploying another Panther. Guards troops will probably pin and do a lot of hurt. Actually might lose it if they get a AT grenade off on it, but looks like Panzer Force keeping their attention. S-25 though might die. One last shot would do it. Panther though unable to, well, finish it off. Once again, the S-25 manages to live, fight another day. Airstrike, I believe, kills at least one model from the American force. Panzer IV Vet 2 helping the Panther, covering it on its retreat. So really great job there, and the Panther makes it on out. Overall, the Allies lost quite a bit of their armor once again, really driving them down. I do not believe that they'll be able to really make an assault on left, which is great because now Yorio can focus on supply for allies or his compatriots, because we can see here no cash is down. That's another big thing. But with the territory that currently the Germans have, they're still beating the Allies almost 2-to-1 in resources. 1933, so okay, not 2-to-1 per se, but it's like 1.75 to 1. Munition wise, it's now even with the Allies grabbing this back, but again, a couple munition points would really help out. Also, we did see the cash over here die, so unfortunately those resources went down the drain. Now we have an elephant over here, so if the IC-152 comes back into play, most likely it's going to have a lot of issues. Simply because of the fact that, well, yeah, oh my god, Vet 3 Sniper, 39 kills. How's the other sniper over here doing? 19 kills. How's Rifle Sniper doing? It is brand new, so I think this is either a new one or he's still not firing at it, which I think might be a waste. At this point, I feel like he knows about you, so you may just want to use it. I get why you don't want to. You want to be cautious, but recon would really help. We have bombing strikes coming on in. Unsure where the bombs are focused. Oh, the MG might die. No, he actually will live. I'm going to say kind of a weak bombing strike, unless there was a lot of infantry here that had to fall back. But even then, Saipan could just fall back a couple hundred, well, okay, it's more than a couple hundred, but still, fall back quite a bit. And, okay, it's actually, I think that it would be about 500 feet. But the point of the matter is, just fall back a bit, regroup, and then come back. Meanwhile, the Brits don't have a forward base, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think Infinite has that forward base. He does not. So he doesn't have an ability to come back as quickly. Mines were placed, which will delay some of the Soviets, unless they just don't care about their men, which is entirely possible. Although those are guards, not penals. British could launch artillery in this general vicinity. Let's see. They do have the upgrade for additional airburst shells, so that is entirely possible, and would actually do quite a bit of damage against this armor if they were to advance. Unfortunately, it looks like they won't be able to take this point, and they already used smoke sometime in the, or recently, somewhere. So that'll be an issue. Firefly 9215 are trying to do what they can, but unfortunately, that Elephant and the Panther is still there and is still doing what it can. But we'll say a lot of Volk squads from Mr. Saipan did die. Magius doesn't have a lot of frontline men. That might be the one saving grace for the Allies, is the fact the Axis does not have a great frontline force. But meanwhile, a lot of the American forces, which would really, really help on the right, are kind of stuck in mid in this perpetual battle. Unfortunately, Gasty is not going down without a fight. Has a ton of manpower munitions. Both guys on left have. Meanwhile, Rifle and Ranma still have a decent amount of resources themselves, but in the grand scheme of things, they're doing fantastic. Artillery is coming down. I'm assuming from, oh, I'm sorry, ISU-152. Rifle went the same doctrine as Johnny. Again, not something I recommend. I don't like doubling up on specific commanders. But that being said, Magius is also deployed the double elephant, or like the elephant focus with Jaeger armor, and we have a double elephant now. Actually, we have two elephants next to each other. So never mind. I guess everyone, it's like a double case of elephants versus ISU-152. So fantastic. Will they actually compete against each other? Will just be something we have to see. Meanwhile, Oswin, I guess, tried to provide that covering fire. Elephant, though, slowly moving on up. They do have the spotting scope, so they can see a bit farther. The Su-85 might have to worry. Oh, there's recon here, so that will provide sight for the Elephant. Fireflies pretty much heal along with the ICM-52, and the Sniper can provide that extra recon as well, kind of counteracting the spawning scope, but the Panther looks like it might be going for a dive. Not seeing any mines in the vicinity. Panther might try to go in to flank around. One last shot on the Firefly could kill it. Misses the shot. Same thing with the Panther. He's trying to escape. We do have our engineers coming on in. AT grenade or fire some Piats. He's going to go through the shrubs and the forest area, and that will work. He does manage to escape. American forces might be trying to intercede. Jackson going after it. Good teamwork, good play. And there is recon overhead. before it crashes into the Allies' area. Panther does get KO'd by the Jackson. So once again, great teamwork and coordination to really knock out a unit that was overextending a bit. I get what they were trying to do, kill the Firefly, but unfortunately it looks like that just wasn't, they weren't able to get that final shot on target. Meanwhile, resources might be great for the Germans, but overall population is still in like upper 60s. But compared to the Allies are looking at least, I would say, mid 80s. So they're looking pretty good. Axis need to keep their unit preservation really good and do some major strikes. They've had great hits against the Allies. The Allies have bounced back. It's weird. Mr. Saipan is losing a lot of men, and he's trying to do what he can. But then you have people like Gatsy, who has a ton of manpower and fuel, and I think he's saving it for something else. Like, he's deploying it. Right now, we just saw a Panther be deployed, or I think it's a new Panther. I want to say it's a new Panther. But anyway, it's one of the situations where, like, okay, what's the goal here? What's the plan? It looks like the Command Panther's back, and that's coming on over. By the way, gotta give credit to these support guns. 31 kills in total. A lot of the infantry section only have like upper single digits, maybe a low teen. Commando, same thing. Not a ton of kills. How are these guards doing? 25 kills on one. Hot damn. Doing really well. So good job on some of these infantry engagements. And again, it looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are being forced back, which again I would say is an issue. Magius needs more. Oh, he needs men in general. Jesus. He's going fully armored warfare here with the Brumbar, Ostwind, Elephant taking a lot of hits. I think that's artillery. I want to say, yeah, we have artillery coming in. Actually knocks out a support gun. So it looks like the Americans might be coming on in. Airstrike though comes on in against it. So yeah, that was the artillery from the Priest firing in that general direction. But the planes are giving them hell, forcing a lot of the Allied armor back. Though really good save by Rifle and its AA half track. Again, just one of these things over an area where this thing is coming down. Holy cow! Kills an engineer squad though. So unfortunately, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. But and that will delay the IC-152 from getting healed. So I guess that's a small win for that aircraft. But they weren't able to necessarily get the kills they wanted. Also, the half track is very low. Maybe a German push could be feasible. But I know the Elephant is still down. How's the other Elephant? It's looking good. If Yo could advance, maybe he could get some great shots on target. He lost his sniper, it looks like, so that's unfortunate, but he still has plenty of resources to get a new one. So I think additional armor, maybe 2 Panthers, and kind of flanking around could be beneficial. A Panzer IV army, something like that. Just try to focus, maybe more infantry. There's all sorts of ways you can go. But one positive note is the Allies are the ones down. The Axis have plenty of time. They almost have, actually they do, they have quadruple the VPs on the map. 310 to 73, right around there. So in this situation, it's not necessarily a detriment to the Axis if they start losing a little territory. They can do that just fine. They just can't lose too much or too many men. And again, versing an IC-152 is incredibly difficult because it can wear down your manpower. So saving, like holding a better defensive line against it or trying to hold, and then maybe launching a assault along the side, not a bad idea. Especially just don't throw your men into the slaughtering ground. And actually, it looks like Gasly is doing that. So looks like he's getting more Panthers. So it looks like he's planning a good armor push. That could be huge because we look at Rifle. He has a great Katusha. Let me be very clear, 20 kills. He has a weakened IC-152 back at base, and 1 Su-85, also very weak on front. Meanwhile, the American, aka Ranma, has 1 Jackson, but quite a number of very good infantry units. Again, haven't really touched on the American forces, but a lot of really good shots. If they push in with what they have, especially backed by that Elephant, they could break the Allied line now. Because right now, it looks like with the Brumbar dying and Magius kind of falling apart. Hold on, we have a bombing strike inbound. That's a time on target. Looks like Magias is not paying. Oh, there we go. He finally kicked into high gear. Artillery's coming on in. He pulled out just in time, and the Elephant didn't take any shots, though. Again, that will allow the Allied forces to kind of just move in and kind of hold this area a little better. A lot more engineers, not a bad idea. Get operational. But I could absolutely see a big push going in mid. Meanwhile, Katusha getting a number of great hits on Yo. Also, 2,200 manpower. I'm starting. Look, Yo, you need more men. You need more men, man. I'm pointing that out. You need more. Double Panthers would be great. Like, think how many, like 4 Panthers rushing in here and just smashing against the Allies. That could absolutely work. Conscript is doing a really good job. I love the Command Panther as well, just trying to come in using its MG to shred some of these forces. So, Not too shabby there. Almost Don as well coming on in with a Jackson there. Doesn't really have to worry. Panther could come in and get a nice shot or two. They do have M1, but it's facing the wrong direction. If the Panther comes along the right, he should be fine. But again, he has to know about that, which is the issue. Looks... Oh god, I love it. The MG's using the dead Brumbar carcass as cover. Meanwhile, it looks like we have a lot of allied force along that right-hand side. Like, Mr. Saipan, it looks like, and Gasty are preparing for the push. And nice shots against the conscripts. It looks like Rifle may... Oh, okay, it was very close to losing some men. IC-152 is back up on the front with an M1, but the M1... Hold on, we have something. An IL-2 bomb strike's coming on in. Very close, but the Axis forces will be just out of bounds. Does destroy the building, though. American forces coming in the mid by being hit by mortar fire. And we're basing a push here. Again, this had to be coordinated, so good job there. But Firefly coming in. Again, maybe it's a little too telegraphed. Any airstrike or anything being called in? No, we have no airstrikes available from Gasty. Panthers trying to maneuver. Panzer IV as well. Plane crash kills some Americans on the retreat. Really great shot there. M1 very low. This is where the infantry needs to come in and really take out some of the support equipment. Luckily, Firefly was there and pushed back the command Panther. That decreased the bonuses the other Panthers got. Looks like this one got hit as well, trying to make it back to base. Elephant now coming into play. Shooting the Su-85. Getting a great hit there. Major coming on in. Doesn't look like they have enough for artillery, so that's an issue for Armada, though he could probably get it fairly short. Saddam holding mid. Looks like that was a push to kind of hold mid. They realized their situation. They realized right is a dying area. They can hold it, but they can't take it. So they can hold the outer skirt of it. Sorry, I should better terminology. They're trying to hit. Kadusha's trying to hit it. Looks like they're able to retreat in time. And yeah, American forces coming on in. Pioneers trying to do what they can to keep the point under their control. Again, every little bit helps. And with the British actually coming in, that might actually do some friendly fire damage, which would be nice. Bunker going down, but the American forces do get around. They might try to take out some of the support equipment. MG coming in along the other side. Again, that is leaving the left a little open. They have plenty of bunkers here, so the infantry is definitely having issues. Holy cow, your Yo is losing a ton of men. Still a lot of veterancy for some of them. I bet he could just quickly pump out a lot of Grenadiers, though. So, again, right now, you're causing me a lot of concern, man. Elephant, though, looks like focused by the double Firefly. They use rockets as well, which kept it in place for them to hit him a bit more. Same thing with Magias. He needs something, but again, the ISU and the Su-85s are just putting so much pressure on him. I don't know what to do. Again, Johnny and Infinite are still present. They haven't really left all that much. Great strike. So it's one of those situations where it might be beneficial if these guys are all here. Hold on. No, the ISU-152 is also over here. So we have two ISU-152s very close to each other. This might be a situation where you just kind of have to fall back and lose this base, which sucks, but at the very least you don't have, like, you might, look, Mr. Saipan might lose the front line base, but at the very least, he hasn't lost the front, like, he hasn't lost the front. This Panther's dangerous, because it's there's three tank destroyers right here. So much, so very much. They're being driven back. Again, a lot of allied forces right here doing what they can, so not too shabby across the board. Now, they are advancing, and there's plenty of armor Panther. It looks like smoke went down from Magias, maybe trying to stop the tank destroyers from hitting the Panther? Unsure, but they are driving him back. Meanwhile, we have an Elephant currently being hit by the Jackson. Hold on. Jackson might have an issue, though. One last shot. Not able to do it. Plane crash. Pretty damn close to the American forces once again. Again, I think this Elephant might die here. It does, actually. I think an AT grenade helped in that, so really good shot. So yeah, not a lot of infantry protection there. And Allies are blasting open the Germans' defensive line in mid. Able to hold the point. And right now it's a do-or-die situation for the Germans because of the simple fact that, first, Yo, I don't know what you're doing. I truly don't know. Right now, I gave you some good graces early on, but right now you're dropping the ball. You have 3,000 manpower and 600 fuel. Saipan, on the other hand, he has double Panthers. He's doing what he can, but he just lost his medical. Right side is completely open. Luckily, Mr. Saipan isn't dumb. He's placed a good amount of mines in some key areas, which we saw earlier. Airstrikes coming on in, and they might kill the Su-85 if they're lucky, but you have to worry about those plane crashes. Because, again, Rifle still has that anti-air, and that anti-air has killed a total of 15 planes. So, if that wasn't there, then yes, the Su-85 could die, but no, in this situation, he's doing fine. So, yeah, just one of those situations. Luckily, his ally Ghastly still has a ton of armor, so he's able to kind of help out where he can. I could easily see a push still occur. We know the elephant is knocked out, but in 2 minutes could easily come back, and the Germans have plenty of time to come back to take that area. Elephant, by the way, in the back, Magius Elephant never died, which I'm surprised about, actually, right now. But the good news is he can still use it to combat the Su-85 and everything else, and that will at least keep him at bay. He still needs infantry support, and that's his biggest issue. And this issue Magius has had the entire time is no frontline or very good frontline infantry. It's like 1 or 2 Panzer Grenadiers, maybe. I think more commonly he's had 1, but he really needs more. Luckily, he does have armor. I just think he needs a little bit more infantry, especially with... The problem is Johnny's guard troops. They're just incredibly difficult to deal with for armor, especially for... Also in a distance, yeah, it'll be fine, but unfortunately, he has a lot more than just 1 guard troops, and as well, he has an ICU-52 and an Su-85 backing him up. So right now, Magius is doing what he can. A good Panzerwerfer could do a lot. He's got a number of good hits. Hold on, push on left. Going in, Missile-Pan and Ghastly charging. They're just not getting a lot of damage, unfortunately. A lot of American infantry and AT are either firing AT grenades or defensive with AT guns, or even the Fireflies coming over. Really good rapid response, by the way. Tank Destroyer not being hit, I don't think. No, actually, they managed to get out for the Stuka Bomb hit. And the Panther, very damaged, although that too, so maybe got some variancy there. Does have to pull back. The British infantry holding mid as well. Johnny continuing to put pressure. He has Magius by the throat and will not let him go, which is unfortunate. Magius losing a ton of his men. Panther now crippled, again, just by guard troops shooting at it with DPs. Again, and now the IS-252 gets a final shot up to Veteran C3, and he's going to continue to keep putting that wedge into the Axis line from behind. As well, he does have to fall back because of the double MG, but still, that's pretty damn sweet. We have a bombing strike coming on in, and Yo-Yo has left. That might actually help, because right now, there's going to be a fuck ton of armor on the field. That might actually give the Allies, or the Axis, a bit of a boost. We have a strafing run, which will lead to some bombers coming on in. But that's probably the biggest detriment, is Yo-Yo, unfortunately. Oh my god, all the crews right there. But yeah, if he would have had the men, I feel like backing up the Panther rush, Mr. Saipan and Ghastly would have broken the Allied line. Having 2 or 3 Panthers abso-freaking-lutely would have, like, tore a hole through their line. But where we're at now, also, nice job with the White Phosphorus. I think he's doing that for smoke so we can get around, if I had to assume. Maybe also push back some of the infantry that come in. But nice job. Cromwell doing a great charge coming on in. We still have the Oswin trying to do what he can. But the Cromwell is giving it everything it's got, and Infinite quickly knocks out the Elephant, which is, again, just to put in scale, Magius' army is essentially KO'd. So right now, we have a huge armor push coming on in, and yeah, unfortunately, Rifles IS-152 is about to be its maker. Hold on, we could see both IS-152s die right now. That could be instrumental in bringing this back. Actually, a lot of the armor is now encircled right now. Cromwell's finding that. Panzer IV, Vet 5, my god! Doing what he can with what he has. Again, the Panthers are still fighting, doing what they can, just not enough damage. If they had, once again, one more person with a group of Panthers, I think they could have broken them. American forces coming in with the Jacksons. Again, the Allies have someone coming in to help, and that's going to be it. Right now, Allied force, we do have, again, all people, Yo-Yo's forces charging on in last minute, but too little too late. Jacksons are going to easily deal with them, and all the Allied forces are just going to regroup. I think this is game. The only thing I could see would be some Mimi tactics. Love your street. Oh my god. Oh right, yes, I pan. Okay, I'll say it. So Johnny informed me he submitted the replay along with also he was playing with my Patreon supporter Radma. But yeah, Mr. Saipan, awesome streamer. Actually, I'm doing this as well because right at a 2 p.m. Central Time, I believe. I'm gonna make sure this goes up ahead of time. There is a 4v4 tournament going on. The day I release this. So if you want to check out Mr. Saipan's channel and the tournament currently going on in a 4v4 environment, you can check that out. And unfortunately in this game, the Axis are quickly falling apart and things are not looking all that great. So I'm just going to fast forward because it's pretty much game over at this point. Yep, he left. That's unfortunate, and the rest of them surrendered. Alright, let's see the damage done by everyone. Yeah, some of the better plays was by Saipan and Ghastly. Magias did great early on, but then just slowly got whittled down. And again, his losses kind of expand on that. Ghastly did very well with his KD and got the #1 on the Axis team. And yeah, Saipan got most of the damage. On the Allied team, again, thank you, Rama, for being a supporter, along with Rifle and Infinite. And Johnny, thank you for submitting this. And as well, thank you for top damage and, although top kills, top damage, Rama, top kills, Johnny. Sorry about that. But otherwise, really good plays overall. A little bit more teamwork on the Allied side really helped. And the double ISU 152 versus double Elephant, I feel like the ISU 152s, again, there was never, except for the end, which kind of actually effed over Rifle, neither side kind of joined together in this great strike with both their heavy tanks, which might have been a little bit of a waste. I think a double Elephant could have really helped against one side or the other. So, but again, I think Yorio was definitely the weak link there. I just don't know why he wasn't deploying more men. If you have 2,000 manpower and stuff, and like 500 fuel, and you have half an army available, deploy it, please. But anyway, let's double check everyone's top stuff. Elephant 8,700 for Yorio. Ghastly, I'm actually curious. A good amount with Volk Squad. 6 kills. I mean, 6 vehicles killed with the Panthers. Just think if you had a little more extra support. Saipan as well. Let's see how you did. 17,000 with the Command Panther. 5 vehicles. Very, very nice. Elephant up to 11,000. Meanwhile, Radma going with 15,500 on the Jackson. And I killed a couple vehicles itself. The AT gun, unfortunately, meeting its maker quite a few times. S285, nearly 13,000 for Rifle. Which, again, there was a lot of times that thing, I'm surprised it didn't die. Sure, Fireflies did really great at forcing back the Elephants. A really good job there by Infinite, and also a lot of kills with his infantry section. And again, Johnny, SU-85, really coming in clutch. I believe he only built 2, right, Johnny? You only built 2? You lost the one early on, but this one, Vet 3, hot damn. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought the IC-152 got up to Veteran C3, but I was wrong. I only got 35 kills. Real quick, a couple quick shoutouts would be great job with the guard troops. And the sniper has 55 kills, and the guard troops have a number as well, good amount. Commandos looks like did pretty well. The Panzer IV up to Veteran C5, got to give a shout out to that. Great job on the American for really focusing on the artillery, really reducing Ghastly's ability to combat him. And again, so great job at really countering that artillery. Maybe Stuka might have been better. If they start counteracting that stuff, get Stuka that we can instantly retreat it back to base. But hey, that's my thoughts. What do you guys think of this game? Once again, thank you to my supporters. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out Mr. Saipan on Twitch if you want to see more Code 2 content being streamed. But otherwise, this is Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Joey G240, Anton, Bishara, Ion, PyroShark, Ace, and Jakub Ocwieja. Seriously guys, thank you so much for your amazing support, especially over the past month. Been through a lot of personal hurdles, but you guys make it a little easier knowing that you guys support me. And same thing with the patrons down below. But this has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see all of you next time.